Kinnitty Castle, the Phantom Monk of Offaly. The true haunted history of Ireland's Gothic castle. Long before Kinnitty Castle became an elegant hotel welcoming travelers from around the world, the land beneath its stone walls had already witnessed centuries of war, religious devotion, betrayal, destruction, and unexplained mysteries. Nestled near the foothills of the Slieve Bloom Mountains in County Offaly, Ireland, Kinnitty Castle is more than just an architectural masterpiece. It is one of Ireland's most enduring haunted locations, where history and ghost stories have become impossible to separate. Unlike fictional haunted houses, the chilling reputation of Kinnitty Castle has grown from centuries of documented history and countless eyewitness reports that continue even today. The story begins more than 800 years ago. The first fortress on this site was built around 1209 but was destroyed during violent conflicts that swept across medieval Ireland. Only a few years later, the Normans rebuilt the stronghold, determined to secure this strategically important location. Nearby, Augustinian monks established an abbey, devoting their lives to prayer, learning, and quiet service. Fragments of the ancient abbey wall and the magnificent high cross still stand today, silent witnesses to centuries of history. For generations, monks walked these grounds at dawn and dusk. Their chants echoed through stone corridors while candlelight flickered inside the abbey chapel. According to local tradition, the peaceful atmosphere was often interrupted by warfare between powerful Irish clans. The O'Carroll family eventually gained control of the estate, replacing Norman influence with Gaelic rule. Like many noble families of medieval Ireland, they experienced internal conflicts, political struggles, and violent confrontations that stained the land with blood. Every new generation seemed to inherit another tragedy. By the 17th century, the castle changed hands once again. Following political upheaval and the plantation of Offaly, the property was confiscated and granted to Colonel Thomas Winter before eventually passing into the hands of the Bernard family. The Bernards transformed the estate into an impressive Gothic revival castle during the early 19th century, giving Kinnitty the majestic appearance visitors admire today. Towering battlements, carved staircases, stained glass windows, and dark oak corridors replaced much of the older fortress, yet beneath these elegant renovations, the ancient foundations remained untouched. Then came another catastrophe. During the Irish Civil War in 1922, the castle was deliberately burned. Flames consumed magnificent halls that had stood for centuries. Priceless artwork, family heirlooms, and historic interiors disappeared beneath collapsing roofs and black smoke. When villagers watched the fire from a distance, many believed they were witnessing the final chapter of Castle Bernard. Yet remarkably, the castle rose again. Government funding helped restore the building several years later, preserving its Gothic beauty while unknowingly preserving something else as well, its haunted reputation. Among all the ghost stories connected to Kinnitty Castle, none is more famous than that of the Phantom Monk. Guests rarely describe him as frightening at first. Many believe he is simply another member of the hotel staff. Witnesses report seeing a tall man wearing the long robes of an Augustinian monk quietly walking through corridors, climbing staircases, or disappearing around corners. His movements appear completely natural until someone attempts to greet him. When they reach the place where he should be standing, the hallway is empty. Staff members have experienced these encounters for decades. Several have reported watching the monk cross a corridor before suddenly vanishing into a solid stone wall. Others claim they have heard slow footsteps approaching behind them during late-night shifts, only to discover nobody there when they turn around. Unlike many ghost stories involving shadowy figures or vague apparitions, descriptions of the Phantom Monk remain remarkably consistent from one witness to another. The figure is calm, silent, and seemingly unaware of those who observe him. No one knows exactly who this monk was. Some historians believe he may have belonged to the medieval Augustinian abbey that once stood beside the castle. Others believe he never left because his spiritual duties were interrupted by centuries of violence and destruction. Whether these theories are true remains impossible to prove, yet sightings continue to be reported by guests with no prior knowledge of the legend. The monk is not the only unexplained presence said to inhabit the castle. Among paranormal investigators, two guest rooms have gained particularly unsettling reputations, the Geraldine Room and the Elizabeth Room. Visitors sleeping inside these rooms have described waking suddenly during the night with an overwhelming sensation that someone is standing beside the bed. Some report hearing slow knocks on wooden furniture despite finding nothing that could have caused them. Others have spoken of doors opening without warning, unexplained footsteps pacing outside their rooms, and strange whispers echoing through otherwise silent corridors. Perhaps most disturbing are accounts from guests who insist they felt an invisible hand brush across their shoulder while nobody else was present. Housekeeping staff have occasionally reported finding objects moved overnight after rooms had been locked and left vacant. Lamps have reportedly switched on without explanation, while cold spots appear in areas where heating systems function normally. These recurring experiences have helped establish Kinnitty Castle as one of Ireland's most discussed haunted hotels. Even those who remain skeptical often admit that the atmosphere inside the castle feels unusually heavy. The thick stone walls absorb sound in peculiar ways. Long corridors stretch into darkness where candle-style lighting casts moving shadows across carved wooden panels. Wind from the nearby Slieve Blue Mountains whistles through narrow windows, creating haunting echoes that can make the oldest sections of the castle feel almost alive. Outside the castle stands another mysterious feature that has fueled countless supernatural theories. Near the grounds lies a stone circle associated with ancient Druidic traditions. Although much of the visible circle was arranged in more recent centuries, local folklore maintains that the land itself has long been regarded as spiritually significant. Some paranormal researchers believe unseen energy flows beneath the castle because it sits upon ancient ceremonial ground where early Irish rituals may once have taken place. While there is no scientific evidence supporting these claims, investigators frequently include the stone circle during paranormal explorations of the estate. County Offaly itself possesses an extraordinary reputation. Together with nearby Leap Castle and Charleville Castle, Kinnitty Castle forms what paranormal enthusiasts often call Offaly's haunted triangle. Over the years, numerous television crews, ghost investigators, and historians have visited these castles searching for answers behind centuries of mysterious reports. Some investigations captured unexplained sounds or unusual photographs, while others found nothing beyond the castle's naturally eerie atmosphere. The stories remain controversial, but they continue attracting visitors from around the world. Modern technology has done little to settle the debate. Thermal cameras, electromagnetic sensors, digital audio recorders, and infrared photography have all been used during paranormal investigations inside Kinnitty Castle. Some researchers claim to have documented unusual anomalies, while skeptics argue that every occurrence has a natural explanation. Even recent investigations continue to generate headlines whenever photographs or recordings are claimed to show unexplained figures linked to the legendary Phantom Monk. None of this constitutes scientific proof of ghosts, but it has kept the castle firmly within Ireland's paranormal folklore. Perhaps the greatest mystery surrounding Kinnitty Castle is not whether ghosts exist. It is why so many independent witnesses, separated by decades and often unaware of previous stories, continue describing remarkably similar experiences. A silent monk walking ancient corridors, footsteps echoing where nobody stands, cold air filling warm rooms, invisible presences watching from the darkness. Whether these are lingering spirits, psychological effects created by an ancient building, or coincidences shaped by centuries of legend remains unknown. As night falls over the Slieve Blue Mountains and moonlight washes across the weathered stone towers of Kinnitty Castle, the silence becomes almost overwhelming. The medieval abbey ruins stand motionless beside the Gothic walls, just as they have for hundreds of years. Somewhere deep within those corridors, if the countless stories are to be believed, a lonely monk may still continue his eternal walk, never speaking, never resting, forever bound to the castle he once called home. And perhaps that is what makes Kinnitty Castle one of Ireland's most haunting places of all. Its ghosts are not tales invented for tourists. They are legends rooted in centuries of documented history, passed from one generation to the next, leaving every visitor to decide for themselves whether the castle's greatest secret is hidden within its stones, or still walking its halls after dark.